Welcome to the Camp Nou and welcome to this live presentation of Memphis Depay, the new Barça signing and the Dutch superstar who is here to sign his contract, put on the Barça shirt and touch the pitch as a Barça player for the very first time. I'm joined by my Rosto and we're welcoming all of the YouTube viewers and in fact for the YouTube viewers who were not privy to watch this exclusive interview that Mai and I just had on Barça TV Plus, why don't you go over to the platform and subscribe. You can get all the Barça content right there and take a sneak peek at that great interview that we had, this conversation with a very nice man, nice professional player.
And all the best content, of course, of him, the team, the preseason games. Everything is on Barça TV Plus, so you have to go there and subscribe because where else you can go if you want all the Barça content?
It's got to be Barça TV Plus for sure. Shortly, we're going to be seeing the signing of the contract. It's, I imagine, symbolic. I think the official contract has already been signed. But of course, this day is always marked by these ceremonial sort of moments that mean so much to these players. And
we also will take a look at him in the dressing room, the first time on the Camp Nou pitch, and wearing the kit, the new kit.
Yes.
But you said it before, the club announced this sign, the fourth signing of the summer in June 19th, and he arrived this Monday, just a month after that, and we're more than ready to finally celebrate that he's here, he's part of the team, part of the squad, and to have the chance anytime soon to watch him live and to see how it is.
Absolutely.
On the pitch.
Exactly, Mai. And from our conversation with Memphis, well, can I ask you some of your first impressions?
Wow. About him,
yeah,
about a footballer.
About him.
About him. I really like it. In a way, it reminds me a little bit of Dest in the way that they're really calm, they're really nice, they're, you know, in a good move, good vibe. You can notice that he feels okay in the relaxed atmosphere, you know?
Right?
Yeah, everything under control. He doesn't seem he's 27. And of course, the good thing is like he has the experience, he knows what he has to do here, and of course, he knows that he has the support of his coach. That's always important because it's not just good that a coach can give approval to say, okay, I'm okay with this player. It's also good to know that the coach was fighting for you and saying, like, I want him on my team.
Absolutely.
And that was all part of the Koeman, let's say, responsibility, because he was actually doing all he can to bring him, and in the end, obviously, he said it, not just Koeman, obviously Laporta and the entire club was behind him. Absolutely,
and we mentioned as well, it's been somewhat of a long time coming, of course, because Koeman was eager to get him already since a year ago. Mai, we're looking at Memphis's arrival in that beautiful Cupra to the Ciutat Esportiva, where he, of course, had to pass the medical, a medical which he passed with flying colors, and we can attest because the man is in tip-top shape.
Definitely, yes. You can see, and if you take a look on his photos on the social media, that training under the water, and obviously now we just had the chance to look at him, and he's in really good shape. That's always good. He has a really long day, that first day, because he just arrived on the medical test and everything. Obviously, the controls for COVID, and the day after that, he was doing his training session with Koeman and the rest of the teammates. We saw the videos on social media with Serginho Dest. He has the chance to meet, obviously, the ones he didn't know. And today was the case that he was reunited with Frankie de Jong and has the chance to meet Antoine Griezmann, Lenglet, and Nico Gonzalez, that we talked about him before, the Barça B player. Yeah,
some of his teammates, and here we're looking at Memphis taking a tour through that emblematic and historic Barça museum to give him a taste of what has been achieved in the past, and hopefully of more good things to come, of course. Memphis wasn't shy in admitting that he's very motivated to continue to win trophies with this team. He's playing in a league that he hasn't played in before, La Liga, but look at him staring at that illustrious Champions League trophy. That trophy, esa copa tan linda, as Messi once called it. A cup that we hope to welcome back into the museum very soon.
Anytime soon, definitely, yes. We next time need to ask him about Clásico, because probably at this point, and I think everyone around the world knows about El Clásico, so definitely could be a really good game, and I'm pretty sure that it's part of the reason why many of the players, when they're here, one of the first goals or one of the first things they want to do is to play a Clásico, and even better if it's at Camp Nou.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When is that again? October?
October. They need to confirm the date, but it seems like it's in October.
Okay, so not too far away. It's these Clásicos in October. Sometimes I'm birthday's on the 5th of October, but I know that this one is a little bit later on.
Yeah, I think so. It could be at the end of October.
But what a present that will be, of course, to see Barça winning and maybe Memphis scoring a goal and lucir and show off that beautiful shirt that he's hoisting right there with his name on the back of it.
Memphis.
Memphis, what a cool name as well. I mean, this guy, he's just cool from top to bottom all the way around. You can't do no wrong.
Yes.
I mean, a name like Memphis. I mean, do you know anybody called Memphis?
No, actually no.
We didn't get to ask him, but I did read somewhere that he was named after, it wasn't Memphis, the city in the United States, but actually Memphis, the city in Egypt. So there's a city in Egypt called Memphis, and he was named after that city.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty cool.
Well, anytime soon they will have the 90-second challenge, and I know there's a question related to that. So people must watch here on YouTube if they want to take a look at that anytime soon, and they will enjoy the 90-second challenge with our new signing, Memphis Depay. That was on Tuesday morning, the training session.
I thought we were going to watch the 90 seconds, Mike. Sorry.
No, that's what I say. Anytime soon.
Anytime soon.
Anytime soon.
Okay.
Not yet.
Sorry, I was holding out for a dramatic pause, thinking that we were going to watch the 90 seconds. Okay, that's
I was waiting for you. I was like, yeah, we're seeing the training session, Diego.
I was adding emotion to the moment. Well, here we're looking at images of Memphis in this, what was one of his first training sessions. Again, as we can see, he's in good shape and probably has to adjust a little bit to the temperature. It is very hot, the scorching temperature in Barcelona in the mid-30s in degrees Celsius.
Yeah, he just came from his holidays. He actually posted a video on the social media. I don't know if you have the time to watch that video. The video he posted, like saying, like, I'm here in Barcelona, I'm ready, I just came from my holidays. It was an amazing video, a high quality video. And it's the way to say, I finished my holidays. That's another thing right now. That was the summer. Now I'm 100% focused. I know what I have to do. I know where I'm at right now. So I feel like at this point, he knows why he's here. You know, it's like, the Euro, obviously, with the Netherlands, really good numbers. He scored 2 goals. He provided 1 assist. He played the 4 games. But right now, it's like, it's now the time to say, I'm a player for Football Club Barcelona, and now this is my objective.
That's right. And do you think he got a chance to see some of his teammates in action yesterday already at the Estadio Johan Cruyff?
Yeah.
Of course, Barça played their first friendly match of the season against Gimnàstic de Tarragona with a very convincing win, the 4-0 win. We got a chance to be there. You had actually privileged access. You were right there pitch side in that win over Nàstic.
We're seeing now the images live.
Oh, this is live now. Look at that. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So at this point, he'll be will have been walking up to the what do we call that in English? The presidential suite, the Yoja,
You're not asking the best person.
Live TV, folks. Well, walking up to the stairs to sign that contract, that much anticipated signature, of course, a dream for so many of us when we were small, growing up to become a football player. And here it is. Here we're looking at those.
The best moment of the day.
certainly for me. I mean, that's been the highlight of the week. Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Yes. That exclusive content, that interview is just on Barça TV Plus. So the people that are watching us right now on YouTube, you have to go there if you want to hear all what he said about everything, because he talked about everything actually with us.
We covered his arrival. We covered, of course, his first impressions, not just of the club, of the city. He said the food is delicious. You can't argue with that.
But don't give any spoiler. They have to go to Barça TV Plus. If they want to know the answers, go to Barça TV Plus.
You're absolutely right. My lips are sealed from here on. You're going to have to find out for yourself. So go to Barça TV Plus to see what he had to say. But just giving you little teasers,
exactly. You have another chance. You can give another answer. And if it's that good, 100% they will go to Barça TV Plus. Do you have anything else? answer you really like from him?
An answer I really liked from him, well, really all of the answers. I can't really pick one. What I will say is that I had a freestyle prepared for him, which I actually, I buckled under the pressure. I buckled under the pressure. It's one on my to-do list, and I will get it to you, Memphis. One of these days, you're going to hear my freestyle. So that's one of my to-do lists still.
If you do that, I live in here. Like, I leave you here and say, like, I'm sorry, Memphis, that was not part of the program.
I'm good. But of course, Memphis not just the only.
We'll see that soon.
See.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to back up my words. You're right. I should. If I'm going to talk the talk, I got to walk the walk as well. Of course, Memphis wasn't the only summer signing. He's been one of 4 so far this summer. Kun Agüero will be one of his teammates up top in the front. We're looking at images here of the day where Kun Agüero was officially presented as Barça player. Again, a lifelong dream accomplished for the Argentinian.
It's amazing. I never thought in my life we will have the chance to have another Argentine forward, and Kun Agüero. Kun Agüero. I'm sorry, we're talking about a top scorer here, an amazing forward. And,
absolutely.
And obviously, someone like him for this club. Also, we have a really good relationship with Argentina because we know all the players that from there. Saviola, Mascherano, Messi, all of them have played here, and they obviously always with a really good level. And to have him here and to know, actually, Koeman will have also, apart from Memphis Depay, Kun Agüero.
Yeah.
And he's actually worried about him, that he wants him 100% fit. He was struggling a little bit with the injuries at Manchester City, but he's now focused and he wants to help him to grow if it's even possible, because at this point I think is a player that he doesn't need to know anything else because he knows exactly what to do in front of the net. And it could be also a really good point for Koeman, because now that he said, obviously, in that interview, that it will be amazing to have Ansu Fati back, but to have all that options, Kun Agüero, Memphis, Ansu, Dembélé, actually, when he recovered from that injury also, Griezmann, Braithwaite. It's like, at this point, it's always good to have many, many, many options.
Exactly.
This guy, come
on. What a luxury, of course. And we're looking here as well, we're seeing here images of the return of one of the prodigal sons of La Masia, Eric Garcia, making his return to the Camp Nou. Of course, a player that came up through the Barça ranks, was at the academy from 2008 until 2017, when he finally jumped over the canal to make a move over to Manchester City, somewhat following the footsteps of another active Barça legend, Gerard Piqué.
Yeah, kind of. I actually think for Eric is even different at this point, because something good for him is that he made his debut with Manchester City with Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
So he just came from La Masia, a new club in the Premier League that also gives you the experience, and to have the chance with that, making that debut with Pep Guardiola, knowing what he represents for this club, is also an extra point. And I think that all the coaches at the youth teams in La Masia are really happy with him. They all say he's so mature, and I promise that I have the chance to know him, and actually he's so mature. He's really, I was shocked because it seems like, he's a guy he's 20 years old, but he doesn't seem like, and the way he talks, the way he acts, the way he moves. And when he talk about his experience in Manchester, when he talk about everything he has done until now, and it doesn't seem he's 20. And I think Koeman is really happy with this sign also, because actually can bring a lot to our center back. And it's also good to know this La Masia product, and he has that value in his veins, and he knows what he has to do here, and he's also mature, and he's also good what he has to do, not just professional, it's also personal. So
his whole kind of composure, you said, is very mature, and talk about exclusive and excellent content on Barça TV Plus. Do go and check out that interview that Mai had with Eric Garcia, where they walk around what must have been a very emotional, memorable time for him, because you walked around La Masia, you walked around the academy. What were some of the if you can give us little teasers, some of his impressions as he walked around the Masia?
We started La Masia because he grew up in La Masia since he was a kid. And then La Masia is huge because it's next to Ciudad Sportiva. So we went to different part of La Masia. I don't know. I'm not gonna say where.
Okay.
And then to the last pitch that he played his last game with Barça. It was with Frank Artiga, his last coach here. And then we finish in a special place, talking about the first team and talking about the future, because it's what it comes now.
That's right, that's right. Well, for those viewers that have just joined us, welcome to the Camp Nou. Welcome to this live presentation of Memphis Depay. It's an absolutely fantastic day. We're going to see the signing of his contract. We're going to see him put on the Barça shirt inside of the Barça first team locker room. Absolutely luxurious space that is. And we're going to see him take to the pitch and take his first steps on the Barça field as a Barça player.
He arrived on Monday.
Arriving on, these are the images of him arriving on Monday, exactly, Mai, yes.
He arrived on Monday, a month after the announcement. It will be the fourth signing for Barça. Actually, something good for us is, as Koeman said on the interview, that we're actually, with all the situation around the world, economic situation, pandemic situation, we're actually doing a really good signings, because even though if we have all the money in the world, I will definitely sign the same players, because it's Kun Agüero, it's Memphis Depay, Emerson, who did an amazing season with Betis.
Absolutely, we need to talk about him.
Eric Garcia is like, what else? Even for free, it's like, you know, when you write a letter to Santa Claus, and you say like, listen, I want free agent players and amazing top level, and they bring it to you for like that.
Exactly. Great point, Mai. I mean, listen, I wish that I could write Santa Claus and that he would bring my children gifts for free, because the amount of money that we spend these days is absolutely insane. But of course, you mentioned a very true and good point. Barça is not exempt of these financial troubles that so many institutions are experiencing.
A lot.
And I mean, the way Joan Laporta and his team have just hit the ground running, making these very strategic and excellent signings is just simply something that we have to tip our hat off to, because it's excellent. These are household names, and these are renowned superstars that he's bringing in, with either mature, peaking at the right age, or with all the potential still and blossoming into a fantastic player, the likes of Eric Garcia.
Yeah, and with him is what Koeman said. It's not just because he's young, it's because he came from La Masia, and he actually played a really good Euro with just 20 years old. And you said it, it's a mix between the experience, between the young players, between talent, between a lot of different things right now, and also to know that at least we're doing something this summer, and we know for sure that this president, this board are working really hard to find the best solution, and to find, as Koeman said, let's try to create the best team possible.
Absolutely.
The best squad.
The best squad possible, without a doubt. And here we are seeing images of him staring down that Champions League trophy, that illustrious Champions League trophy. Hopefully we can, of course, see Barça be very successful in next year's Champions League campaign. I'm going to put you in the spot again.
Yeah.
Any idea when the Champions League group phase starts? When we can be looking forward to that?
At this point, I just care about the preseason for Barça. I don't care about the Champions League right now.
And what a preseason we have, Maya. You're right. I'm getting too ahead of myself, because it's a great preseason that we have in store. Yesterday, we managed to see Barça play against Nastic, but there's still some fantastic games coming up.
A lot of them. We're going to take a look on them right now, Diego. We have that game on Saturday at 7 p.m. local time against Girona. Then we're going to travel on July 28th to Germany, because we have to play that game, that friendly game against Stuttgart on the 31st at 6 p.m. local time. And the last one confirmed until now is Salzburg in Austria, Wednesday, August 4th at 7 p.m. local time. And you know what? You can say to the fans, where can they watch all that live and the best content?
Guess, folks, guess. You can watch all of this live exclusively as well on Barça TV Plus. So what are you doing? What are you waiting for? Go ahead to that platform and sign up, because you'll be able to see some beautiful and brilliant goals, the likes of this Raymanai scoring that fantastic 1-0 to really get the ball rolling and allow Barça to get ahead on the score sheet, and much deservedly so. We're watching a summary and some of the images of Barça's first friendly game that took place yesterday in the Stade Johan Cruyff against Nastic.
How do you feel when you saw for the first time Barça on the pitch again after all the summer, the football, the Euro, the Copa America?
Yeah. Yeah, it felt really, really good. I mean, of course, we usually enjoy all of those tournaments with the national sides, the Euros and the Copa America as well. Thank goodness that Messi managed to win the Copa America with his Argentina side, much deserved as well, and such an anticipated trophy for him personally as well. But really nothing compares to seeing the ball rolling and seeing our Barça players chest in the goal in this case.
With the badge.
Raymond, with the badge as well. And I don't know if you picked up on that. I asked Andrea Orlandi, who was of course, fantastic analyst that we had by our side yesterday, whether that reminded him of a goal previously scored in a Barça shirt. Did that remind you of?
I'm trying to think if was... I don't know, because I'm Dory at this point, and don't trust me because I can say something that is 100% wrong.
One of your favorite player putting in a goal with his badge on a very.
It was Iniesta in the World Cup? No.
No, it was Leo Messi in the Mundial de Clubes in the Club World Cup when he put in that goal, the winning goal.
But I think there's a goal like that at Bernabeu.
Okay, well, I'm talking. You don't remember Messi putting in the Club World Cup? For Barça
You're
putting in the winning
talking to the
goal.
worst person about
with the chest.
Special moments. I have no idea. I don't remember anything at this point.
It's the heat. It's very hot here.
But we need to actually mention that yesterday we have a lot of debuts with the first team.
Oh, tons. Yes. I mean, we saw a few familiar faces of the first team, that is. Of course, Gerard Piqué not participating with the Spanish national side allowed him to partake in yesterday's friendly that finished 4-0 in Barça's favor. We saw the likes of Serginho Dest as well, but many players from the B team, some big signings as well. I mean, which one was your favorite? Yusuf Demir? Was it Escobar?
Well, it's complicated. Because actually in the first half, I really like Alejandro Balde.
Balde was great.
He was in a really good position. We know that for sure we can have a left back in the youth team. We saw Jordi Escobar. We saw Peque Polo.
Yes.
Yusuf Demir. Then in the second half, the entire team changed from the goalkeeper until the forwards.
That's when the goal started to fly in as well.
Exactly. Actually, the first time for Iñaki Peña with the first team, his debut was exactly in September 2020, actually against Nastic Tarragona. He played that second half the same as this year. First Neto in the first half, and then was Iñaki. Alex Collado also had the chance to play with the first team, but was back in 2018-19 with Ernesto Valverde at Balaídos. But it was the debut for 13 of them. We saw, I don't know.
Wow.
What do you think about that? Who was the best one for you?
Well, it has to be Manai, doesn't it? I mean, the man who scored a hat-trick, the man who got to take away the ball after the game, scoring 3 goals on your Barça first team debut is, I mean, a memorable day will be an understatement. I mean, that'll be a day he will never forget, and will be able to tell not just his kids but grandkids. Because what a way to come onto the scene.
No, and we talk about this during the game. I don't know if people here had the chance to watch us on Barça TV Plus, but we talk about how crazy it is that even though, the red card, they sent off one player from Nastic, but everything was done in the second half with the young players.
Yes,
the
I love
4-0. It's insane. But a 4-0, even though the last year it was a 3-1, the goals by Dembélé, Griezmann, and Coutinho, and this year hat-trick from a varsity player and another goal from Collado. It's like, wow. Right now at this point, what's the Koeman's conclusions? Watching the entire situation and saying like, oh, it's not gonna be that easy because you have a lot of players in the first team, and now you have really good options in the Barça B team.
Well, I love that you bring that up, Mai, because actually I got a chance to ask Andrea about that as well. Of course, Andrea also came up the ranks. He played for Barça B before eventually also playing for a spell with the first team, and I asked him, is this something that the Barça B, the younger players, will throw into the faces of the elderly players, the fact that they had to come out and take care of business? And he sort of looked at me and said, well, yeah, there might be one or two that mention something, but at the same time they will keep their tempers down and not be too braggadocious because, of course, well, they are playing for the B team, and these are idols of theirs. So there is a lot of respect and sort of a hierarchy when it comes to those types of things. But what a fantastic job by these young players to come out on the day and banging 4 goals against a very difficult Nastic side. Even with 10 men, they were not easily beaten, and they're very organized and experienced side for that matter. They had players that even played in the Champions League with Villarreal, so very good job for them. Absolutely.
No, and it's good for Koeman because I think we're lucky not just to have La Masia, to have the young players, to have such a big talents and youths. They're ready to grow and to go for the first team because that's their dream.
Yeah.
And it's also to have the coach that trusts them and say like, I don't care if you're young, if you're good, you will play. We can see that with Pedri.
Yeah.
He arrived here and he was 17 years old, and now he's the best player for me, the best young player, not just in the Euro, actually during the season. And to have the chance to have that coach that say, I don't care about the age. I care about talent.
No better coach than Ronald Koeman, of course. Before we're going to have a listen once again for our viewers joining us from YouTube, Memphis' first words when he arrived at Barcelona Monday. You asked me who my favorite player of the game was. I feel hard-pressed not to ask you your favorite player from yesterday's game.
You put me on the spot here. I'm like, I must say that actually I really like Gavi.
Okay, yes.
Because I had the chance to do some games of the Juvenil under 19, and he's just 16, which is even big words, 16 years old.
That is just incredible.
I think he did a really good game. He played a really good game. And I don't know, at this point, Yusuf Demir, I was really impressed with him.
Yusuf and Demir were...
Well, I was happy to see that Sergi Roberto is fully fit, that he's 100% fine. Ricky Puig, he did a really good job.
He did.
Titi, I think, I don't know if it's just that I was, with excitement of watch that game, or it's actually like there's a really many good points and many things to take from there.
Absolutely, and for me as well, Yusuf Demir, a player that had so much presence after arriving in such a short time, certainly somebody to look out for over these next few friendlies as well. So again, don't miss him and sign up to Barça TV Plus. But now let's head back over to Memphis Depay and let's have a listen of his first words as he arrived here to Barcelona.
Give me a lot of confidence and also supported me when I was injured, and he saw me fighting back, and he was fully supporting me to come here and to join the biggest club in the world. So I'm very happy that he is here, and I'm ready to fight for him, of course, as well.
Those last words, I'm ready to fight for him as well, referring to Dutch coach, Barça head coach Ronald Koeman, of course. Before in the newsroom, you were telling me how much you loved hearing those words. Yeah,
because it's actually surprising, because sometimes we know that for sure there are many chats and conversations in the dressing room that we're never going to know.
Yep.
But at some point, to have the chance to hear a player saying like, I will fight for this coach because he supported me, he saw me fighting for this, and giving me the confidence to play with the Dutch team, or to be here and say like, listen, even though you had a really hard time in the Manchester United and now with the Olympique Lyon with that injury, you know what? I want you in my team. And that's, I think, is the best message you can give to a player. And he's obviously doing the same. He said, like, I'm a free agent. I can go wherever I want.
Yeah.
And right now is what Koeman said, like, he's just showing like he wants to be here. That's the point. He wants to play here. There's no more reasons. There's more no clubs. If my coach, Ronald Koeman, who really trusts me and he gave me the confidence and everything, are asking me to go there because he wants me in his team, and I want to be obviously at Barça. What else?
Can you imagine being in a position where different companies are fighting for you
Wow,
to join
I
their
wish.
company, and you
I
have
wish.
one boss saying all these beautiful things about you.
And no, can you imagine Barca touching the door and say like,
Yes.
please come with us? I will say, hey, I'm here. I'm here working, but as a footballer, it's like, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need anything else apart from that.
Dream come true, no doubt
Yes.
about it. We're seeing now live images of the area where the signing of the contract will take place. We're already seeing there Joan Laporta, the president of Football Club Barcelona, entering the room, and shortly he will be joined by Memphis Depay as well. We see Vice President Juste as well, and there he is, the man of the hour,
Yes.
with a big smile on his face, looking classy as always, ready to ink that paper.
This is live images now from Camp Nou, just
These are live
really
images,
close from
yes.
heart.
And we're seeing next to them as well the shirts for the season, both the home and away shirt. Of course, that away shirt, such a beautiful tribute you mentioned before as well for the achievements of the women's team.
Yeah, I really like that message and the empowerment. Not just that the team are giving everything for the women's team, it's also about supporting them in all different scenarios, not just about football or any other sports. It's also showing that, and that's why I really want that purple kit. Obviously, we're seeing now live that signature, and I really like Memphis. You know, it's a perfect gentleman with his suit and everything, like on top for the perfect day.
Mai, you think I could pull this off?
No, no, it's just for Memphis. That's his style, you know. I can see the flow. It's like a gentleman. It's like it's the best way to say like I'm sitting here next to Joan Laporta, Football Club Barcelona's president, and I'm signing my contract.
Mai, I'm going to surprise
Wow.
you one of these days and walk into the newsroom dressed just like that. I'm gonna be determined to prove you wrong. I think I can do it. But there you have it. The signature, that much anticipated signature by Dutch superstar Memphis Depay, ready now to formally and officially start banging in the goals for Football Club Barcelona. What a great moment.
Really great moment. I think everyone's happy now. And we said it before, the great effort by Joan Laporta, the board, and the club, bringing such a top scorer, such a top player to the club right now. And now with his shirt, his kit.
The unveiling of the shirt, that's right. Or not so much the unveiling of the shirt, but the posing of the shirt, rather, with his name on the back, of course.
Memphis.
And shortly, once the pictures have been taken, they'll be making their way down, all the way down the stadium that is so huge. It is an absolute labyrinth at times. Both Mai and I, we had to make sure that we were not going to get lost and get late for this broadcast, because it's ginormous. But they'll be making their way down to the dressing room to fully get, dressed and kitted out in the Barça gear before taking his first steps onto the pitch.
And I don't know if you remember that, Diego, because I feel like it was time ago, but he talks about the fans in the stadium.
Yeah.
Which is obviously really important for the team, not just to win the titles, also to be able to celebrate it with everyone in the stands in such a temple like this one.
Absolutely.
We were lucky yesterday because after 501 days, I can stop saying that because it's too much time. It's almost like, I feel like too much, 2 years.
Yeah.
But it's not that much. It's 501 days that everyone was at home and no one was able to watch Barça or to see Barça in front of the pitch at the stadium. And yesterday we had the chance.
Yeah.
We were lucky to have the chance.
Yeah.
I think I will never forget that 2,037 people that were yesterday at the Johan Cruyff Stadium.
50% capacity, you said, right?
50%, exactly.
Yeah.
We hope that it could change anytime soon.
Yeah.
We know it's not easy, but that's the dream for any footballer,
And what I hope also can change on that note, I know that after the game you and I were talking about that we were perhaps a little bit surprised by the more reserved celebrations from the fans. Well, I actually found out that there's a reason for that, because as the fans get instructed into the stadium, they also get told that they cannot scream. So yes, there's actually... I assume because of COVID reasons that they're not allowed to be overly enthusiastic. So fans are allowed back in the stadium. We're not allowed to fully celebrate the goals just yet.
But even though you were there with Andrea, I heard many times the fans supporting Pjanic, Umtiti, Neto, the players, the young players,
The less
goals.
regular, maybe, yeah.
That possible penalty on Hiroki Abe. So they were like actually in the mood of they want to cheer it up and be there for the team. But obviously we're actually living a really weird, I will say, situation because I feel at some point we're never getting back to normal.
Yeah. It's taking time for sure. But I don't know about you. I got my 2 COVID shots already, so I'm feeling like Superman. Nothing can stop me now.
Yeah, at this point it feels like that. But we obviously need to keep the lines and keep the instructions from the medical staff and the people who knows about this.
No doubt about it, Mai. And another thing I would like to add on the note of the fans, as we're seeing Memphis there posing for more pictures with his mom alongside of him.
Oh, that's nice.
I got a chance actually to exchange some words with his mom earlier this week as well, and something very interesting. His mom mentioned to me that his grandfather, who passed away when he was just 15 years of age, but when he was a young boy, his grandfather always said that one day he would end up a Barça player.
That's insane.
Isn't it? I mean,
He's
he must be looking down from the heavens.
Yeah.
Yes, a very proud moment for the Depay family in that sense.
I really wish I could be a proud mom like this and someday come here. We hope it could be Laporta also and have the chance to sign that contract with my son and say like, listen, can you be more proud if your son is playing for Barça?
I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
Me neither.
Well, I would be proud whatever they do, of course. Again, my son is watching. Boy, this is no pressure for you. But so you do whatever you want to do. But if you do end up a Barça player or Joya or my baby girl for that matter, I would be
the women's team, come on.
Yes, of
course.
They
just won a treble, so they can achieve whatever they want.
Absolutely. No doubt about that. Well, we just saw the signing of the contract. Great moment, of course, for Memphis. Great moment for us, our fans, and the club as well to welcome not just any player, but a Dutch player with a fantastic goal-scoring record, generous in assists as well, and slowly but surely they'll be making the way down the stairs into the Barça locker room. Have you ever visited the Barça first-team locker room? Have you ever?
Yeah, I'm lucky.
It's beautiful, right?
It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's it's insane. And when you're there, you feel like you're in a museum, and you don't feel like there are actually some people here all the time, and they do like normal life in the dressing room. But when you go there, you feel like it's a temple. You know, you have to be quiet. You have to analyze all the details, and everything's like wow. It's insane. It's insane. And I'm pretty sure that for a player. Obviously, there are a lot of stadiums around Europe and around the world. They're amazing and huge and spectacular. But Camp Nou?
It's just special,
wow,
isn't it? I mean, it's the biggest stadium in Europe, third biggest in the world. It has to be special. It's one of those temples that is a must-visit for tourists, and of course a must-play stadium for players everywhere. You mentioned the fact that, of course, yes, Memphis has played for 4 professional clubs previously. Why don't we have a look at his time at the other clubs as well, exactly where he played and from which year. We see there on the screens that he started at PSV Eindhoven in 2006, nearly played 10 years for the club, 9 years for the big Dutch side before finally making a move over to Manchester United in 2015 at the young age of just 21 years old at the hands of Louis van Gaal, of course, who was the coach at that time before Jose Mourinho took over. After Mourinho came into the locker room, it meant that, shortly after, the Dutchman had to make his departure to Olympique Lyonnais, and his time in Lyon was absolutely spectacular, putting his name back on the map and back on the scene, scoring a ton of goals, particularly in this last season. And you mentioned at the top of the show, Mai, even being named the the French Football Player of the Year, or
Footballer of the Year in France.
Exactly.
Yes,
not the French football player, of course, he's Dutch, but yes, you get what I'm
Footballer of the Year,
yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty big award because we said it before, there's a lot of top players in France and many different teams, and to be able to win that is actually the best award for any footballer. that you have the recognition from the entire country in the league, so it could be something huge for him. And also, if you want, we can take a look. In Olympic, he scored 76 goals and he provided 55 assists, which is amazing because it was in 178 games.
Wow, incredible. And
Incredible.
22 goals, 12 assists, I believe, as well in that final
Yeah,
year,
in last
right?
season. Yeah, in last season, 40 games and 22 goals and 12 assists.
Oh, man.
We were talking about him. Like, it's not just the guy who likes to score goals.
No.
It's also he enjoyed to give the ball to his teammates and give them a chance to score.
And so generous as well in the assist area. A player that can play out on the left and down the middle as well, but always is very keen awareness of where his teammates is. In fact, not just when it comes to statistics is an area where this player shines, but he often is seen to sort of drift away, trying to pull defenders with him to create more space for his fellow teammates. And well, I'm sure seeing the attacking players that he'll be surrounded with right here at Football Club Barcelona, that'll be an area that'll be exploited by his teammates and much welcomed as well for Ronald Koeman, the fact that he is such a multifaceted player, because we heard Ronald Koeman talk about it in a press conference in last season that, listen, the responsibility of banging in goals cannot solely come from Leo Messi, but the other players need to step up to the plate as well.
Definitely, yes. And also, you know that the entire team needs to work for everyone in each position, because sometimes I think that last season we have seen many different times Griezmann going back with the defenders to do defensive work, and that's always important, not just because Ronald Koeman has mentioned that they need to do everything and they need to help each other. And obviously, if you have the scorer in your favor, you need to keep doing that, and you need to, all the players, not just score the goals or help the team. It's just about the defensive work.
Exactly, Mai. And why don't we have a look at some of the awards and trophies that he's won throughout his illustrious 10-year career. We talked about it as well in our interview. This season will mark his 10th year anniversary as a professional player. I don't even think he was fully aware of that. When I mentioned that, he was sort of had to step back and say, whoa, it's been 10 years already in the game. Time flies.
He didn't even think about that.
Yeah, time absolutely flies.
Yeah, 100%. Or see now the cups, you can say it.
The cup, you prefer me to take over from the PSVs and
yeah,
the
pronunciation.
Okay,
yeah,
the pronunciations is a little easier. Exactly. He started off winning trophies with PSV, the Dutch Cup that he won in 2012. That same year, he also won the Dutch Super Cup with PSV, of course, before 3 years later finally winning that Eredivisie for PSV. Of course, such a hotly contested trophy in the Eredivisie, where you've got big teams, the likes of Ajax and Feyenoord and PSV, year after year disputing the Dutch National League. And that year, he managed to pick up the Eredivisie trophy along with the top goal-scoring trophy as well for PSV that year. And that successful year, of course, had his reward, because a year later he was brought over to to Manchester United rather, at the hands of Louis van Gaal. And in that year he managed to win the FA Cup with Manchester United, as well as the Shield, the Cup Shield with Man U in 2016. And a little bit earlier in his career, in 2011, he also managed to win the Euros, the under-17 Euros with the Dutch national side. Something, of course, me as a Dutchie, I hope that he can repeat with the Dutch first team as well, because this Euro Cup wasn't meant to be, but the World Cup is only a year and a half away.
I know.
It's crazy to say, but it's a year and a half away.
Yeah, really soon. But if you want, let's take a look on his numbers, because he played for the PSV and the under-17, under-19, under-21, and then the first team. With the under-21, which was the last one before he jumps for the first team, he played 19 games, he scored 12 goals, and he provided 1 assist. And then with the first team of PSV, he played 124 games, 50 goals, and provided 29 assists.
Look at that. Again,
which is almost
highlighting
more than the half of the goal he scored. And obviously, it's a really good number. You said it before. In the Dutch league, we have Ajax, we have many different teams, plenty of really good players. So it's not easy to say that you have the experience around the world and in Europe, exactly with the Premier League, the Dutch league, and the French league right now.
No, absolutely not, Mai. Memphis, a player that, in that sense, has shown that he's able to adapt quickly to his new teams and the new leagues as well. Him now coming to Football Club Barcelona is certainly a challenge for him. But from our conversation in an interview exclusively for Barça TV Plus, In fact, the one that we're seeing here on the screens right now, he's walking down the stairs.
Coming to
where
us.
you and I were sitting. Yeah, he looked like a man determined to be successful and also anxious to take the field and start playing for Football Club Barcelona, his new team.
New team, and what a team to say that you're the new player of Football Club Barcelona.
Yeah, and that's something, unfortunately, that we can say in our lifetime. I say we. You're still a youngster, a young puppy. I'm approaching my 40s. These gray hairs don't lie. But you can still do it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say my age here. That's a secret for sure. We're gonna keep it like that. But I'm gonna say I'm around Memphis age.
Oh, Memphis. Okay, all right. So
around.
So maybe becoming a professional football player is
I think I'm
stretch.
late.
A little bit late. Okay.
I think I'm late.
All right.
Because at this point, you said it, he has already 10 years been a footballer, and I need to start my way.
Exactly. Well, on the note of him as a player, we asked him as well whether where he prefers to play, whether it's on the left, whether it's down the middle, or as a second attacker. And he did share with us his preferences. He talked about, down the left or on the left-hand side, or as a full-out number 9 is really where I think my place is and where I feel most comfortable. Going over some of the numbers that you have on your cheat sheet over there, I also came across some of the numbers earlier that actually, compare him to top strikers, the likes of even ex-Barça player Luis Suarez, not just from a statistical point of view, but also his XG, his say creation abilities out on the pitch as well. I mean, you can compare him to the top strikers around the European leagues. These are live images that we're seeing right now. He's putting on the Barça kit. He's already gone on the shorts
for the very
first time. That's it. Look at that smile.
Wow.
That's like a smile of a kid on Christmas Day.
Definitely, yes. I'm pretty sure that's the highlights, the best moment of the day for any of the players. Not just to be able to sign the contract next to our president, Joan Laporta, is also to wear that kit and now to jump on the pitch and say, I'm here. And this is my very first day.
Exactly, and look, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be very honest here, live on Barça TV. That kid, I'm liking it more and more and more.
Yeah.
I needed a little bit of time to get used to it. Initially, it caught me off guard. I'd never seen anything like it before. But the more I see it, and the more I see these, fit professional players wear it, I'm really growing to it. It's growing to me.
Yeah.
I think I might pick it up.
Definitely, yes. And yesterday we had the chance to take a look even more closely in the Johan Cruyff Stadium. It was pretty sure, like, wow, it's actually really nice, and the players look really good with it.
Yeah, they do. Look at that. Touches in a restricted space in the locker room.
Everyone there taking photos, recording.
No pressure for the Dutchman. And talking about pressure, I mean, from here, he's going to be making his way again up the stairs in this case, and pretty soon he'll be right behind us, treading the field and taking the pitch first time as a Barça player. What an incredible and memorable moment it'll be for him.
And it's a shame because actually I remember Diego when I had the chance years ago, since the first year that I came to live here in Barcelona, that I had the chance to come here to Camp Nou for many presentations of many different players during the summer. Yeah. And it's a shame.
Do you remember?
It's a shame.
Yes.
The one I remember the most, it was the one with Neymar.
Oh, you were here for Ney.
Yeah. And the entire stadium was full. The people were crazy. Crazy. I just remember a guy who had like it was like a paper because it was not that good. He writes something like, Florentino, en Madrid no hay mar ni Neymar. It was pretty funny, I have to say it, because it was really good. And I will never forget that.
I mean, it's hard to translate, but No,
I will never forget that. There's no C and there's no Neymar. It doesn't make sense in English.
Word, exactly.
Yeah. In Spanish is different. But I really remember that because I also had the chance to come for any other new players, and the environment, the people, the atmosphere, everyone cheering up, excited, and they actually always prepare like balls around the pitch, and they threw it to the fans, and it was just amazing the way we did it before.
Yeah.
We hope that we can recover that anytime soon.
Those packed stadiums on player presentations always was and
Priceless.
Absolutely priceless. And for those players, it must be such a
shocked,
shocked, but at the same time, so exciting as well to see so many players or so many fans rather excited to see you wear their kit of their club, taking the field for the very first time, the first touches, and as you mentioned as well, perhaps sharing some of the balls that they have around the stadium with the fans. From my youth days, I never got to witness any player presentation. I lived in Holland, but my mother is from Barcelona, so we would always spend our summers here. I never coincided with the presentation, but the friendlies is really what I take away. Just to get the chance to see Barça in friendlies, or in particular the Gamper, that was usually the only game that I would get to see Barça play. So it's kind of grown synonymous, right? The Joan Gamper game with the tourists packing the stadium. Well, I can proudly say that year after year, I was one of those tourists that was packing the stadium.
Yeah.
So excited.
It is actually, I must say, like, no one here told me before that the best game for the presentation, to know the new squad, the coach, and all the details about the new season is the Joan Gamper Trophy.
Yeah.
You always think about the preseason like, oh yeah, that's the time. No, it's actually the Joan Gamper Trophy.
Exactly.
Because they do like a big party.
Yeah, it's a party.
They do the presentation of all the players, their numbers, who will be here. And you know for sure the players that will be for that season are the new signings in that case. And it's definitely the best day if you want to be here, not just in competition, because normally we play the Joan Gamper Trophy against big teams, or actually teams that need to do something else. Or, for example, years ago when we played against a Brazilian team. So we have an entire story behind the Joan Gamper Trophy, and it's always a good idea if any of the fans that are watching us on YouTube are here in Barcelona and they want to come, they should definitely buy the ticket for the Joan Gamper Trophy this year if we have the chance to do it with the fans, and they confirm obviously the team and the date and all the details.
Exactly, Maya. I think slowly but surely they are in the channel, or in the channel, in the in the tunnel rather, and slowly but surely making their way out into the field. Remember that the friendly matches can be followed on Barça TV Plus. The next friendly match will take place this Saturday against a familiar opponent and fellow Catalan side, Girona. Another side, in fact, just like Gimnàstic de Tarragona that we played last season. Nàstic, it was the same order, Nàstic and Girona.
Exactly, and the same result, 3-1.
And the same result, exactly.
Yeah, it's always good. And the good thing is that at least this year we will have 2 more friendlies for now. The Stuttgart and Salzburg, and it's always good to play against other teams to see the team's performance and their level during the preseason, because actually they come from the holidays, they come from many different competitions, the Euro, the Copa America, some of them as Eric Garcia, Pedri, and Oscar Mingueza, they're now with the Olympic Games. So it's a big test, and it's always good, and obviously for the coach to see if he can touch La Masia a little bit and bring something out from there.
Exactly, Mai. And I'm going to stop you real quick, because if I'm not mistaken, there he is. Well, these are not live images. This is him in the locker room, but if I'm not mistaken, he's actually making his way out into the field.
Anytime soon.
I'm going to look over my shoulder. It's a little birdie in my ear whispered that he was coming out. Not yet. Not just yet, but...
well, we're seeing the...
Ah, there it is right now. These are live images.
Yes.
There he is. And he will be coming out on the field.
There he comes.
Right around now. What a moment, Mai. What a moment.
Definitely, yes.
Of course, like you said, it's unfortunate that there are no fans back in the stadium, because it would be a completely different atmosphere. Maybe you and I, we can start cheering.
Yeah, we can applaud and do like, Memphis, Memphis. Definitely, yes.
Over here,
we wish.
over here.
Yeah, well, he has now the carpet of, you said it yesterday, actually, because I hear the Salir y Disfrutar de Johan Cruyff.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A message from a Dutch legend to another Dutch player.
There you go. Go out and enjoy.
Exactly.
And enjoy, he certainly will. Memphis Depay taking his first steps right here in the Camp Nou as a Barça player, taking it all in with
Yeah.
a big smile on his face.
I'm pretty sure that at this point he's really speechless because it's not even the same.
What was the question that you said that left him speechless? Actually,
Which one you say?
I don't remember. It was your question, but there was a question you asked him that left him speechless. He couldn't describe the emotions.
The Camp Nou
wasn't
and
it?
the Ciudad Deportivas. Yes.
Right.
I think it's everything related to Barça is huge. It's probably not too much, but it's like you're speechless. You know, like with this stadium, this temple, it's insane. It's crazy to have him here. And of course, if you have the chance to do the tour in the museum, it's not the same to be in the stands than to go there on the pitch and to be able to see all the stands, all the seats around, and it's just insane. This stadium is insane.
It really is. It's so big. It's the third biggest in Europe, or in the world rather, the biggest in Europe.
And you know when it's the best time ever, when we have a Clásico or a Champions League or something like that, and you know that each of these seats are full of people.
Yes.
Wow. It's just, you can't describe it. We're seeing now the first touches.
The first touches. I'm breaking protocol here, and I'm
well, look at that. Look at
record.
that.
Look at that. The man's got skill. Not phased whatsoever.
Not pressure.
No pressure.
Look
not
at
phased
this.
by the
Now the
grandness
photos.
of the occasion.
Yes. This latest summer signing, because we said it before, it's Eddie Garcia, Kun Agüero, Emerson, and now obviously the great. We should applaud also because this
Let's
is a
do it.
great moment and we're lucky to be here to enjoy it with him.
Absolutely.
No, you're the last
I was
one,
too late.
Diego.
Okay, well,
you're
I
too
got the
late.
last claps in.
Yeah.
last claps in. Excuse me. I was snapping a few pictures.
Now everyone's gonna turn around and say like, "What's that guy doing right now?"
I've got a freestyle for you.
Please don't. It's just there right now.
So that concludes, or will shortly conclude, his first touches of the field, or of the ball on the Barça field. Of course, Barça have made 4 summer signings so far. We managed to present Eddie Garcia right here in the same place several weeks ago. Kun Agüero has also been presented, and today is the day of this special player and person, Memphis Depay.
Unforgettable day for him, for sure, and even for us.
And for us.
If we're not the ones that are here on the pitch, we're not gonna
We're in a
forget
privileged
this.
position.
Yes.
We're in an absolute privileged position to be seated here, so close to the pitch, so close to the action, so
Yes.
close to the protagonists. I cannot tire of this. This is a good day at work for sure, Mike. I'll never grow tired of this. As now they're
100%.
making their way back into the tunnel, where very shortly we will hear from Memphis Depay in the press conference that will follow this ceremonial act.
Anytime
A
soon.
press conference that,
Everyone.
of course, can be followed as well right here on
Right
Barça
here.
TV Plus.
And the good thing for the fans that are watching us, because I'm pretty sure a lot of them speak English or their language is in English, they should stay here because we will have the press conference in English.
Yep.
Because obviously Memphis will answer that questions in that language. So it's always good. And for the people who is here and speak Spanish, I recommend you to go to Barça TV Plus soon because we will definitely have all the content with the subtitles and obviously thinking about the rest of the fans.
Of course, worldwide. I mean, Barça, such a global conglomerate. It's a very international organization followed by fans all over the world. In fact, they're getting the stage ready because the press conference will be held right here as well behind us, on the Camp Nou pitch. So what a great place to be hearing from the new Barça signing.
The Eddie Garcia was
it
in
was
the
inside.
auditory.
Yes,
I was
yes,
about to
yes.
tell you, this is brand new.
Yeah, this is new. This is great.
This is great, and it's different. Also, we're gonna have the chance to watch this, not just here with our TV, to be able to see this live. We're seeing now the president there. You said it before, the vice president, some of the board members.
There's Masip as well, club legends, board members, and family and friends of Memphis as well, of course, joining on this very special occasion, a memorable day for those close to Memphis, as well as the player.
It's insane how amazingly looks that pitch, that field. It's crazy. It looks like a carpet.
Yes. It is in an absolute great state for sure, state of the art.
At some point, don't you think like it seems like it's fake?
Yeah, I had that. Well, you know what? I had that yesterday as well at the Johan Cruyff Stadium, the estadio where Barça played yesterday. Even that field was just impeccable.
100%. 100%. I don't know, but
Almost looked photoshopped, like you said, just not real, right?
It doesn't feel it's
somebody
real.
just painted over it, made some grass look.
And I think people actually doesn't know this, but at the Botiga, the Barça store, not online, here at Camp Nou or here in Barcelona, you can buy a little piece of the pitch.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you imagine to have that amazing part of the, well, Messi's garden, everyone's garden here on your home, at your place?
Did you get a piece?
I really wish I could.
You got some grass?
I will do it. I will do it soon. I will do it.
I've got some grass. I've got some grass at home.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do.
And it's okay?
It's good. It's really
good.
good.
It's
Yes.
good. It's all green.
It is green.
Okay. It seems like we actually have a high quality in
Yes.
our grass.
Exactly. As it should be, of course. Nothing but the best for
Definitely.
these players.
Exactly. Anytime soon, they will come for this press conference. I imagine
So
that right now, he's just changing his clothes again.
He's got to get back into that
Yeah.
impeccable gear that he arrived at, of
Gentleman.
course. He's got to look is 100% and sharp as he did when he arrived. But we talked about the friendlies, Mai, but
Yeah.
La Liga, the season is kicking off very shortly as well, August 15th. Do you know the first opponent?
Real Sociedad.
Indeed. The
Yes.
team, of course, that we last played in the Camp Nou with fans.
That's insane. But you're right. Yes, it was the last time with the fans in the stands. It will be the first game in La Liga. We know that will be Saturday, August 15th. And they actually confirmed this week or last week that the second leg will be against another Basque team, which is Athletic Club de Bilbao, but this time at San Mamés.
That's right.
Not easy. But definitely, it's always good to have a big test on the first match day.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Why not? Start out guns blazing, already get to know your competition, because at the end of the day, they'll be in a similar position to Barça. The legs will not be necessarily in 100% match fit, meaning that, we all know that the players start out a little bit slower and get fitter as the season progresses.
Yeah.
So in that sense, both teams arrive in a similar state. And why not face that big competition head on? It also, it just gets all of us excited, even more excited to see such a big headline in the what will be the new La Liga season debut.
Well, if we look back last season, the 2021, we struggled a little bit at the beginning. And I remember all the media and the people saying like what's going on and that all the changes and the new coach, because it was actually Ronald Koeman's first season and Pedri and a lot of things at the same time. And then in January, February, that we were alive in all the competitions, that we did that amazing how can you say, climb in the Liga, in the Champions League, and then the Copa del Rey, the Super Cup. Obviously, it was too much at the same time. And we actually finished with the options in the Champions League. It was a shame, but we were the only Spanish team that actually went to the last round and could arrive, because Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid were knocked out before us.
That's right.
And I still remember all the comebacks, in the Super Cup, in the Copa del Rey, that final against Athletic, that title, and that we had the chance to fight for La Liga until almost the last day. So we were alive.
Maybe some will say that the word miracle is an exaggeration, but who would have thought in December, when we were, 12, 15 points behind the league leaders, that we would have been, as you said, in those final match days, still in with a chance to win La Liga. That's an absolute mammoth of an achievement for Ronald Koeman and his men. Something, of course, that got us all so very excited. And yes, it ended in a disappointment, because anytime our team, Barça, don't end up winning a trophy, it's a disappointment. We always start the season with high expectations. However, having said that, I don't think that we can be too harsh or critical neither. of last season, because winning the Copa and being in a chance of winning the league was for me just an incredible and great feat. Very successful.
I think at some point, I'm happy, and I really like about Barca fans is that we always want to win, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
We're ambitious.
All
I mean,
the fans.
we're the biggest club in the world.
Exactly.
Our
But at
standards are
some
high.
point, since years ago, we're getting used to, and it's not normal.
Yeah.
Because you can't forget you're actually playing against big teams as Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Sevilla, Valencia. You have many of them that have won the Europa League. They're in a really top level, and fight against them, and also in the Champions League, and also in the Copa del Rey. That we saw that this year, that any team can beat you. Real Madrid with Alcorcón, and any team can be a really good
point.
obstacle for you. And if you manage to do that and to win the trophies, and we're just getting used to be the winners. And at some point, it's not that easy. And obviously, what we want is to do that, the same as the players. What they want, the first objective is winning titles. But we just want them to play well and to really enjoy a spectacle in the pitch and have something new, something different.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, Jordi Alba that said that us fans are mal acostumbrados. We've grown accustomed, as you rightly pointed out, to this team just winning trophies after trophy. We're spoiled in that sense. Again, thanks to our producer here, my ear, for helping me out. We are spoiled. We have been spoiled over these recent seasons. Barça have been a club that have been, setting a standard that has hardly been reached by other clubs in that sense. There's no other club in the world that has ever won twice the triplete, let alone the sextete. Let alone be, what was it, at some point, 8 league titles in the last 11 years.
Which is insane.
Which is absolutely insane. And now we're going through a time of restructuring, reorganization. These signings, these 4 signings that have been made so far, are absolutely top signings, but also very strategic. We talked about the fact they came for free.
Even
right?
Koeman mentioned that on Barça TV Plus with that interview. He said that even if we have a big amount of money, that I think any club around the world right now can have that amount of money, to bring 4 players in with that quality, with that high level, you're bringing a top scorer, the best footballer of the year in France. You're bringing Kun Agüero, which is the top scorer in Manchester City. You're bringing Eric Garcia, who did an amazing Euro, and he is a young player but full of talent. Emerson with that amazing season with Betis.
Great season.
It's like, even though if you don't have the money, that free agent, they will come here because they want to wear that kit and they want to fight for this club, which is the best message you can give to the fans.
Yeah, no, exactly, Mai, absolutely. And the success for our players isn't stopping. Of course, Eddie Garcia now also playing in the Olympic Games over in Japan, to whom we wish a lot of success.
A goalless draw between Spain and Egypt. Eddie Garcia, Mingueza, and Pedri were in the starting lineup. Eddie Garcia and Pedri played the whole game. Mingueza was changed up for Vallejo in the first half. But obviously now we have to wait for them, because today was the first game in the Olympic Games, so we have to wait for them until middle of August, I think. We know that Koeman was not that happy because he won the entire squad with him.
I don't think any player was happy necessarily.
But at some point,
we want our players to rest up as well.
Yeah, but if you think as a footballer, what do you want to do? Play football. So if he's fine and fit and nothing happened, it's the best news, because at some point it's also given him a lot of experience, not just the Euro, now the Olympic Games. And
it's almost a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Exactly. And the good thing for Ronald Koeman is to know that you have options on the bench and in the youth team. You will have many midfielders at the beginning of the season. Obviously, they need to give him a rest. He needs to rest
up, boys.
A little bit.
Rest up.
But we're here waiting for him, and obviously at the beginning of the season you can ask for that much when they just come from holidays, they come from big competitions. It's not the same as last year when they didn't have anything, and you just can use the entire summer to do workouts and to keep in a really good shape. This year is different. They all have a really tough season. It was too much. If you remember, we have like 2 or 3 games during the week.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Mike. I guess that's what concerns many culés in this sense when we're talking about these specific players that have gone to the Olympic Games, is that last season was such a condensed season.
Yes.
A season that was so heavily marked as well and conditioned by injuries for teams around the leagues, everywhere, of course. But us being culés and being concerned with our players, that was one of the main concerns for many of us, that, we want to have these players fresh and ready to go for another, what will be also a demanding season where we want to, again, play for all the trophies.
But we have key points here.
Yeah.
It's not just the medical stuff. It's
Right.
the type of training they're doing.
Yeah.
If they take care of each other.
Yeah.
If the coach know how to manage the minutes between them.
Yes.
Who should rest, who should play. And at some point, sometimes it's complicated for them because they will always be criticized. Like, you should put that as starting lineup, or this player, the
Right.
other player.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just need to manage the players, and some of them can say, like, listen, I don't feel 100%, and I'm scared if I jump on the pitch, I probably gonna have injuries or discomfort or whatever. And obviously that type of chats and everything that happened in the dressing room, we will never know that.
Yeah.
And in the end, they're the ones who knows what to do. They're the coaches.
Yes,
They're the
yeah.
one who prepare themselves for this. And definitely it's about many key points. Many of them.
On that note, I had a very interesting conversation with our football analyst, Andrea Orlandi, about this quite recently, and he was talking about how the role of as we're looking here at live images now of Memphis live in the flesh, treading the Camp Nou once again, but this time with that very stylish suit indeed, ready to take to the microphone once again. Not to freestyle. He will leave that honors to me. But he will, of course, partake in the press conference. But just quickly to finish, Andrea was talking about how the role of the doctors and the physical
the staff, yes.
What do you call the physicians rather of the team have perhaps a more important role than ever, because they are really the ones that will be working with players day in, day out, and checking that the body is still in tip-top shape. And then afterwards, of course, it's also the player himself who knows their body the best and will say, look, I'm having a little nag here, I'm not feeling great there, or I'm in tip-top shape, you have nothing to worry about, as is the case with Pedri, of course, who played so many minutes on Ronald Koeman, as well as Luis Enrique, and I imagine with the Olympic team as well, it'll be no different. In the case of Eddie Garcia, what pleases me very much as Memphis and Joan Laporta will shortly get started here is that, again, he showed his maturity by deciding to come to Barça and taking a step backwards from Manchester City and not having played so much last season. Let's have a listen to what our colleague Georgina has to say.
Depay, Memphis, welcome, and hopefully you will enjoy your time here in Barcelona.
Esperem que gaudeixis molt del teu temps aquí a Barcelona.
President del Futbol Club Barcelona, Joan Laporta, el vicepresident primer i responsable de l'àrea esportiva, Rafael Juste, i el director de l'àrea de futbol, Mateu Alemany.
And Mateu Alemany,
again, and
members of the board,
Memphis.
and of course the player Memphis Depay.
jugades de Memphis Depay perquè podem tots junts conèixer una mica millor el nou jugador blaugrana.
We have a special video now.
Ara, si passem als parlaments, té la paraula aquesta benvinguda. Mereix tots els aplaudiments del món, així com el nostre president, Joan Laporta, té la paraula.
Gràcies.
We'll first hear from Joan Laporta.
Gràcies per la introducció. Bé, com
Thank you for the introduction.
s'ha dit ja molt bé, és la nova incorporació del Futbol Club Barcelona, Memphis Depay.
We're here with the new signing.
Un jugador amb molta personalitat.
He's a player with a lot of personality.
Dins i fora del camp.
Both on and off the pitch.
Penso que necessitem aquest tipus de jugadors.
I think that we are in need of these types of players.
Més personalitat al nostre primer equip de futbol.
It'll give us, our first team, more personality and strength as well.
Talking about your strong.
Estic parlant de la teva personalitat, molt sòlida.
Bé, dir-vos que ens vam posar d'acord perquè hi havia molt bona voluntat amb les dues parts. Vull agrair a tot l'equip
que té al Memphis
el fet de mostrar en tot moment voluntat de que vingués al Barça. Nosaltres volem jugadors que volen venir al Barça. I nosaltres també, ho sabeu, teníem el desig, la voluntat que el Memphis formés part del nostre equip. Això ha facilitat les coses i felicito a tots pel bon treball que heu fet. També ens acompanyen uns amics íntims del Memphis, que són quasi com germans, i dir-vos que per part de l'equip del Futbol Club Barcelona, del Departament de Futbol, felicitar-vos també perquè penso que avui és un gran dia pel Barça, perquè a un gran jugador, un home amb valors, un home amb principis, molt ben educat per la seva mare, per la Cora, amb valors i amb principis, i estem segurs que donarà moltes alegries al Futbol Club Barcelona. Dir-vos que el contracte del Memphis té una clàusula de rescisió, Mateu, de 500.
Memphis has a buyout clause of $500 million.
Encantat de que formis part de la família barcelonista i que estem
I'm incredibly happy to welcome you here to the Barça family. And I'm here for anything that you need.
I abans de tot,
I'll soon open the floor up to questions.
Si pot ser més o menys incòmode, en qualsevol cas estem a la joia de la corona del Barça, que és el nostre estadi.
We're here, the jewel of Barcelonismo, of Barça, which is the stadium. So I hope that you are all comfortable. If during normal times, I'm sure that the stadium would now be packed with thousands and thousands of fans.
Vostra amb més facilitat, però en qualsevol cas sé que ho enteneu perfectament perquè és amb motiu d'aquesta pandèmia que esperem que s'acabi el més aviat possible. Perdó? Doncs gràcies i passem al torn de preguntes.
Thank you, and the floor is now open for questions. Or first we will hear from Memphis, and then we will get to the questions.
Del Camp Nou i també a tots els espectadors de casa que arreu del món ens segueixen. Si vols dirigir unes paraules, sí, sens dubte. Evidentment que avui és un honor ser aquí.
Yeah, today is a day that we made it happen. And it's been a long conversation, but the will, as the president said, was always here. So I would like to thank you, President, and the whole board, and also my team, of course, with all the effort they put in to make the deal happen. And I'm, finally here, and I'm sure that with all the passion that I believe is in this club, from the board, the fans, the players, the people in the stadium, but also the city, and also the reporters, of course. Everybody here in the stadium, I think, knows the importance of the club in the world, and I definitely realize, I think, how big this club is and what the impact it has on me as a child already, and now to be here as a 27-year-old guy, chasing my dream. I think, it's something amazing. And I'm looking forward to obviously play in a full stadium with all the fans and fans at home. If y'all watching, I'm really, really excited to see y'all and meet y'all in the stadium. And I think the team is ready for the new season with a good rest. And now it's time to go back to work. It's time to bring trophies in and time to show the ambition. I also want to thank the coach, of course, that he had a strong will to bring me, and he gave me the confidence since the national team. yeah, he knows that with the confidence that he gives me, I can bring something to this club, and I believe that as well. So I'm very happy, obviously, with my close friends, the people that I love here, my whole team. Not everybody is here, but also the people at home. Yeah, it's a dream coming true for me. Of course, I want to thank God first of all. That's always the person that I think above, and yeah. Other than that, I'm very excited to see what's gonna happen in the future with the club and with me, and I hope for a long relationship.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Bé, ara sí. No sé si vol dir alguna cosa, president. Pot dir-la, Només faltaria.
It was a dream that come true, Memphis said, and I have a secret. I get a secret from your mom that when you were 5 years old, there was a gift from your opa, from your grandfather, and it was a Barça shirt. And it was a prophecy because your opa said, one day you will play in Football Club Barcelona. And it happened.
My mom obviously can tell that better than me. You know, I was young, but yeah, I have the shirt, and I saw the picture popping. I saw the picture, and I was like, yeah, I believe it's a prophecy. And, yeah, the grandfather is not here anymore, but I'm sure he will be proud. And obviously, I'm from Holland, so we are seeing all the Barca legends, and you know, we get raised with that, with the Johan Cruyff foundation, the way of playing, the way of thinking. We get raised with that, and you know, to come here, and today especially, the way y'all welcomed me, I feel very like a warm welcome for everybody involved from my team. So I want to thank you for that.
Bé, ara sí passem a la roda de premsa. Com sempre, ja sabeu, una pregunta per torn, indicar a qui va adreçada la vostra pregunta i nom i cognom, així com el mitjà que representeu. Comencem amb Barça TV, Marc Grau.
Hi, Memphis, here, from left, here in the stands. And first of all, welcome to FC Barcelona. You said that playing here is a dream come true. 2 years ago, you played with Olympique Lyonnais. I want to know what has changed in that Memphis from that 2019, from this Memphis that is now dressed with FC Barcelona shirt. Thank you.
Good question. I think not much, you know. I have always the ambition to play for one of the biggest clubs in the world. And we came actually here in the Champions League. And yeah, we got to remember that this is one of the biggest clubs of the world because we lost, I think, 5-1. And yeah, after that, I just kept working hard and believing, trying to help my team back in the days in Lyon. And now I'm here. I'm trying to do the same, helping my team and the teammates. I'm looking very forward to like all meet them and play together with them.
Hola, Xavi Lemus de TV3. M'agradaria fer una pregunta al president Joan Laporta. Ara estem davant de la tercera presentació dels fitxatges d'aquesta temporada. Un dels objectius, lògicament, és inscriure aquests fitxatges de cara a la pròxima temporada. M'agradaria preguntar-li com estan les negociacions a nivell de límit salarial amb els jugadors. Sembla ser que ha transcendit que hi ha unes certes reticències i com està aquest tema des del punt de vista econòmic per tal d'aconseguir això, que tots aquests jugadors que ha fitxat el club puguin ser inscrits i, evidentment, també aconseguir la renovació del Leo Messi. Gràcies.
Bé, els jugadors que anem incorporant poden ser inscrits, ja bé sigui el Memphis, ja bé sigui el Kun, ja bé sigui l'Eric. Sabeu de les restriccions que venen motivades també per l'herència que tenim doncs, una nòmina salarial esportiva que excedeix del total d'ingressos del club. I el rati que tenim doncs, no ens ho posa fàcil a l'incorporar nous jugadors. Aquí s'està treballant molt bé amb la Lliga. Mateu Alemanya està fent una feina extraordinària, el vicepresident primer i esportiu també, i la secretaria tècnica, el departament de futbol, perquè hem de seguir les normes que hi ha, més enllà de que pensem que són més estrictes que en altres països, això és el que tenim i hem de treballar en aquest marc. Però tenim confiança de que tard o d'hora, d'alguna manera, o bé reduint la massa salarial o bé també potser amb alguna fórmula que sigui acceptable per la Lliga a l'hora de valorar el fair play, que de fet ja s'ha produït una mica, estem veient bona voluntat per part de la Lliga. O sigui, sé que s'ha escrit molt, estem veient bona voluntat per part de la Lliga i bona voluntat també per part del president de la Lliga. I és el primer interessat en que grans jugadors com el Memphis vinguin a la Lliga Espanyola i juguin a la Lliga Espanyola. I el que passa que és cert que hi ha unes normes que ell les ha mantingut sempre i que vol que se segueixin. I aquí, doncs, entre tots, estem intentant seguir aquestes normes, aconseguir els objectius que és inscriure jugadors. És un problema que no et puc negar que existeix en aquests moments, però que estem confiats que el resoldrem, perquè és en interès de tots.
Sí, hola. Pel president, Roger Pasqual, del periòdico. Volia preguntar si veu Antoine Griezmann jugant a la propera temporada amb Memphis Depay. Gràcies.
Griezmann play alongside of Memphis Depay. Griezmann is a Barça player. He's got a contract. So, unless there will be different circumstances that will take place, we still count on him. Griezmann, the player. We'll see what other signings will take place and how that could condition the team. We have brought in a great player of great quality.
Com ha dit el president molt bé, el mercat es mou, el mercat és un mercat especial, en el qual
this summer transfer market is a special one.
Voluntat de tenir imaginació a l'hora de proposar intercanvi de futbolistes, no?
There are certain other options, perhaps, also.
Ha estat una inversió important que va fer el club en el seu moment.
The interchanging of players.
De nivell top, i per tant estem molt contents amb ell.
It's important that everybody's happy.
Moltes institucions han d'estar oberts a escoltar situacions, però no serà fàcil que ningú vengui amb una oferta suficientment interessant per desprendre-nos un jugador tan important.
It'll be therefore difficult to see a club with the financial capacity to come with an offer interesting enough for us to contemplate anything.
Per fer determinades situacions que no m'ho havien ni plantejat, i ho dic sincerament. Gràcies.
Hola, bona tarda. Joan Boquer, de Mundo Deportivo. Voldria fer una pregunta pel Memphis, aquí. Voldria saber com està vostè interessat o emocionat davant de la perspectiva de poder jugar al costat de Leo Messi.
How excited are you to play alongside Leo Messi?
It's a dream. Watching all his games of the whole team, of course, but you know he's a legend. You know, I don't need to say much, but best player in the world. You see what he did in the Copa America. So I'm looking very forward to play with him, and his quality is undoubtable. So I'm a very, very fan of him. And on the end, like in the pitch, I have to just make my runs, and I know the ball will come because he has too much quality. So he can do everything with the ball. So I think everybody in the world would like to play with a player like that. So obviously for me as well. And the value that he holds for the team for so many years. Yesterday I had a tour in the museum. You saw all the Ballon d'Ors. Probably another one soon. So yeah, it's going to be a dream for me to play with next to him.
Què tal, president? Ramon Salmorri, de Catalunya Ràdio, aquí al fons. Ara parlava Memphis Depay de la possibilitat de jugar amb Leo Messi. No sé si ja l'he dit en privat que jugarà amb Leo Messi al 100%, però menys saber quan es pot fer públic la renovació del crack del Barça. Gràcies.
But how is the re-signing of the player going?
El jugador sempre ha dit que vol continuar.
The player has always said that he wants to continue.
No hi ha dubte.
There's no doubt there.
El que és totes les negociacions
making good progress
un contracte d'aquest tipus, un altre
in
cop,
this
que tant
difficult situation.
Com el Mateu Alemany i tot el seu equip estan treballant
The board,
molt bé.
led by Mateo
I,
Alemany,
vaja,
are
és un desig que tenim
working
tots.
very well.
Nosaltres tampoc amaguem la nostra voluntat de que volem que el Leo continuï.
We, of course, as a club, also want him to continue here.
Volem que continuï doncs, molts anys amb
The
nosaltres
truth.
i que pugui doncs, jugar amb jugadors de gran talent com el Memphis.
And we want to be able to count on players with so much talent, the likes of Memphis.
El més aviat possible.
So we hope to be able to comply by the rules and make this happen as soon as possible.
Hola, buenas tardes. Germán Buena, del diario Sport. Mi pregunta es para Memphis. Te quería preguntar hasta qué punto ha influido en tu decisión de venir al Barça que sea Ronald Koeman el entrenador, e incluso si con Ronald Koeman al final
How
no
big
hubieras
of an
sido en el
influence
Barça,
was
¿hubieras
Ronald
venido
Koeman
igualmente?
in your decision making for choosing to come to this club?
I will answer that question straight away, yes. Because you just don't say no to Barcelona in my eyes. But did he had a big impact? Yes, very big, because I know him from the national team. He put me in the center forward position, and you know it did a lot. Like, you know, in the games that we played or that I played under the coach, I did a lot of things that created chances or goals. So I think he made me feel comfortable to play in a different way, different role. And yeah, I have to thank him a lot actually for that, because before that I was playing on the side. Also, I can play on the left side. But yeah, he tried something new with me in the middle, and that worked for him very well and for me too. And then obviously he made the step to Barcelona, and from then we just kept contact. And yeah, he tried to convince me to come last season already, and I was willing. The club was willing, and then finally it happened. It was just, I think now was the right moment, and then it happened. So obviously it was the influence of the coach, but you cannot say no to Barcelona, so I would come anyway.
Hola, bona tarda. Marc Andrés de RAC1. I have a question for you, Memphis. We talked before about the salary cap issues that Barcelona has. So are you worried at all that you might not be able to be signed up to play for Barcelona this next season at La Liga, for example? Thank you.
Can you repeat that again? Sorry.
Yeah, the club has a salary cap problem, so are you worried that you might not be able to be signed up to play for Barcelona this next season?
No, I'm not worried. First of all, I come here really focusing on the game, football, and as the president said, they're looking in a lot of creative ways to get back on the market and to continue how it was before. So I'm not really worried about that, and I'm also not really focused about that. Obviously, it's important for everybody in the future and now, but I'm here to win titles, and then, you know, besides that, the business side, I'm not worried that the president and the whole board don't take care of that. I'm sure they do, and once the situation gets better and we can get everybody back in the stadium, I'm sure that the situation is going to be different.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Santi Ovalle de la cadena SER, aquí. Le pregunto en castellano al presidente. Acaba de hablar de Leo Messi y a mí me gustaría saber qué es lo que falta exactamente para poder anunciar que Leo Messi sigue en el Barcelona. ¿De qué estamos hablando? Porque
has recently spoken, but what is still missing for Messi to finalize his renewal with the club?
Bueno, en su debido momento conoceréis, espero, la noticia que todos estamos esperando y por lo que estamos trabajando todos.
For that big news, and we're working hard towards it.
Comentando las negociaciones en cuanto a los detalles que quedan.
Now, of course, this is not the place to talk about the details of the negotiations and how we reach the conclusion of the contract.
Que estamos todos muy satisfechos con la actitud de cada parte
you will be compensated adequately, and we are all very happy with the attitude and the communication.
La operación, que las dos partes tienen conocimiento de todo.
Both sides know all of the details of everything.
Conseguir el objetivo y que las dos partes estemos satisfechas.
And we want both sides to be very satisfied.
Y de lo que se trata es eso, de que siga progresando.
That's what it's all about. We want the progress to continue.
Que Leo está de vacaciones merecidas.
Everybody knows that now Leo is on holiday.
Está disfrutando de la Copa América, que ha quedado campeón.
He's enjoying having won the Copa America.
Trabajando aquí con nuestro equipo.
He trusts in his team that is working here to come up with a contract that is in the interest of both parties.
Mi pregunta es para el presidente, Joan Laporta. Acaba de decir usted y su director del área de fútbol, Mateo Alemany, que Griezmann cuentan con Antoine Griezmann. Le quería
Just said
preguntar
that you
si
count
descarta
on Antoine Griezmann next
un
season.
intercambio con el Atlético de Madrid por
So,
Saúl Ñíguez.
do you therefore discount a possible exchange between Atlético de Madrid?
El mercado está
the market is just starting, the transfer market. There are a lot of restrictions due to COVID, and of course the revenue streams have been affected by that hugely. So there's not a lot of movement in the transfer market. Players like Griezmann or other players, of course, have a lot of interest from clubs around Europe. What we do at the moment, or what we're doing at the moment, is continuing to build the team, because that's what we have to do. With Antoine, there's no problem at all. We're very happy with him, both as a person and as a professional. And if the market starts to move in a certain direction, we're open to all types of proposals, because we are in a very delicate moment. We have to abide by the fair play rules. We have to reduce the salary cap. And we need to look at all the players that we have in our squad, make sure that we get to agreements, that we reach agreements that are in the best interest of both sides, that don't put the club in a difficult position. And in that sense, our football director, Mateo Alemany, is working diligently to come up with the best solutions. He's doing a great job. So in that sense, like I said, we're open to any proposal that the market might offer us. But above all, what we're looking for is to build a competitive team. And I think that's what we're doing, and the example is sitting right next to me in Memphis Depay.
Bona tarda, president. Aquí darrere, aquí davant, Anaïs Martí de La Vanguardia. Parlava de futbolistes que estan mirant a veure com respiren. Jo li volia demanar pel cas de Pjanic I Umtiti, que són dos
I wanted to ask you about Miralem Pjanic and Samuel Umtiti, players who Koeman said or haven't accounted much for Koeman last season. How confident are you that you'll be able to find destinations for them? We respect our players. They are Barça players, and they deserve all the respect in the world. So when we talk to these players, we talk very directly with them. Some players have had more or less protagonism last season.
Esperem doncs, que si tenim amb algunes reticències de com pot afrontar la temporada que ve, doncs els hi direm personalment. I jo, Mateu, si em permets, et passo també ara la
we will confront this upcoming season
d'aquests dos jugadors en quant a les negociacions que fem.
in the case of these two players, we will see what decision will finally be made.
Pues efectivament, jo crec que tots els jugadors de la plantilla actual del Barça coneixen la seva situació i en aquest
everybody, all the players and everybody know the situation of the club.
La seva situació esportiva són dos jugadors de prestigi, de trajectòries importantíssimes, no? I que clarament
these are two players with a lot of prestige and a trajectory that has to be respected.
Quina és l'opinió de l'entrenador i les possibilitats que tindran a priori de tenir una
So we will talk with the coach
participació dins l'equip, no?
and talk about their possible participation with the team for next season. We know the situation and we respect these players, like the president said.
Possibilitats que puguin tenir de sortida en el seu cas i que si ho valoren perquè els primers interessats
We'll see if the possibility will arrive.
I que tenen, torno a repetir, trajectòries importantíssimes al futbol mundial. Ells són els primers interessats en tenir una certa garantia de continuïtat i de participació en els equips.
Of course, these are players that are worldwide renowned, and it is in their best interest, of course, to have as many minutes playing as possible.
Winkels, het diario Algemeen Dagblad, Hollanda. I will ask you in English, Memphis, in Dutch, we won't translate here. I want to ask you, there's news in Holland, if you allow me, President. Today they signed Louis van Gaal as a new coach of the Dutch national team. We know Mr. van Gaal very good here, but you know him very well too from United and Dutch national team. Could you say us what you think of his comeback to the Dutch selection?
I look at it positive. I didn't read the news yet, but I heard, of course, of it, and I'd look at it positive. I've experienced him in Manchester United. He actually brought me to Manchester as a 20-year-old boy. And before that, he brought me to the World Cup when I was 20, and I had amazing moments with him. So I think I've learned from him a lot. And yeah, I made a lot of things with him and a lot of experience. Good and maybe less good. I was young. I had to learn more. Whatever the case was, like I look positive at it because I know he is good for the team. I think that's one of the most important things. Like he will make a team very quickly, and that's what we needed. That's what we need at the national team right now.
Bé, aquesta era la darrera pregunta. No sé si voleu fer alguna paraula més, president, si no faríem una foto de comiat i donaríem l'acte per finalitzat. Moltes gràcies.
Bé, explorava la insistència que hem de fer respecte de tot el que s'està parlant amb els jugadors, també ben motivat perquè hem de fer aquesta reestructuració per raó de la situació financera en la que ens trobem.
Going through a restructuring process to take care of the financial situation.
Saber treballar en aquest marc. Vols afegir alguna cosa?
And we're working hard to make all that has happened.
M'afegiria dues coses. La primera, destacar la personalitat que té Memphis.
I want to talk about the personality of Memphis. He's got a great, surrounded by a great family and friends.
Per tant, estic segur que Memphis aportarà aquest component que sempre diem familiar al nostre club. I tornant a aquest moment tan difícil que ens hem trobat,
Memphis will be successful at the club.
És molt difícil. Però sí que us puc ben garantitzar que tot l'equip està entenent
aquest
moment tan complicat i vull destacar que tots els components des del primer fins al final ens estan ajudant senzillament a escoltar el que el nostre director de futbol i en Ramon
that we are all working hard, players and board alike, to in the best interest of the club.
Estan tenint una molt bona actitud, noteu. Al principi compreneu i vam comprendre segons quines reaccions, però quan han vist la realitat de la situació tenim una plantilla extraordinària.
Given the reality of the situation, I'm very happy with the work that's being done. We're putting together a fantastic team filled with professional players. So we will listen to proposals and evaluate the situation. There'll be now one final photo being taken. Well, my last picture there Interesting press conference, of course. Not all the questions necessarily aimed at our new signing, Memphis Depay, given the massive interest that exists around the world and locally with regards to the club's situation. Understandably, of course, that some journalists would like to take this opportunity to find out more about the current affairs. But for us, the big current affair, the most important one, is that of Memphis Depay and his presentation here today.
We're here for him.
That's right.
And it's his day. So I think today should be all about him. I think at some point, sometimes they need to find another moment to do that type of questions, but always, of course, they're independent and they're journalists, they're free to ask. That's part of their
job.
Expression. Yeah, they definitely need to do that. But I'm really happy. My favorite answer was when he said that even though that Koeman obviously it was part of his decision, when he said you can't say no to Barca. I think that's the best headline.
Yeah,
it's the headline.
That's
it's like it's what you want to hear.
We'll be reading more about that in my news, the headline. I would have come to Barça regardless of Koeman, because who can say no to Barça? Certainly, we agree with him on that. We're about to wrap it up here. It's been a long afternoon. It's been a great afternoon for that matter. But before leaving, check out, of course, the following dates of Barça's upcoming friendlies. There's still friendlies to come, starting this Saturday against Girona. That will take place this Saturday, the 24th of July, following a trip over to Germany to play against Stuttgart. That will take place the 31st of July, and finally a match against FC Red Bull Salzburg.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's been a long, I can't get the words out. That will take place the 4th of August at 7 p.m. live, ladies and gentlemen, right here.
Where? On Barça TV Plus.
On Barça TV Plus.
You have to go there and subscribe. It's super easy. You can do it worldwide in any country. And of course, you will have all the best content from the preseason. Sometimes even exclusively, because you can watch everything on social media. But on Barça TV Plus, you have even more.
Exactly. You'll have all of the pre-game, the post-game, all the analysis, everything you'd need that your heart desires to find out and stay on top of the news of your favorite team, Football Club Barcelona. But what do you say we call it a day? Is that it? Anything more to say?
Well, thank you to all the people that are working behind these cameras, Amy, the producer, everyone here for doing this amazing presentation behind us. Of course, to Memphis, the club, and everyone for watching us.
Absolutely. So again, thank you to all the viewers, and make sure you stay tuned right here on Barça TV Plus for more updates, more news, and who knows, maybe more welcome shows and presentations, of course. Right here on Barça TV Plus, your home for all of your Barça content.